Hello everyone, it's Brianna and welcome back to my channel. Earlier this fall, I took a trip to Belgium to visit my family and I am taking you guys with me. I stopped by Copenhagen on my way from SFO to Brussels and I had the worst sushi ever in my life. Do not go to Yo Sushi because it will be very expensive and not worth the price, just putting that out there. I landed safely and I was very excited, and my family had actually prepared this cute little sign that says Milky Booze to welcome me to the country, which made me very happy. It was very nice of them. I ended up visiting two cities during my time in Belgium. The first one I went to was Bruges. I was actually supposed to visit Bruges back in 2016 when I was last in Belgium, but I ended up getting a horrible bout of food poisoning from some creme fraiche that I had with a Belgian waffle, and that scarred me for life, but I'm very happy that I was able to visit Bruges this time because it's a really beautiful city. Here you can see me eating a pain au chocolat before I got onto the train. It was very delicious and very fresh. We got onto the train. It was about an hour and a half ride from Brussels, and it was extremely rainy, as you guys can see, but that didn't put a damper on my spirit at all. My aunts are wearing these really cute matching jackets. They were very colorful, very easy to spot. Bruges, as you can see, a very beautiful city, even in the rain. A very romantic feeling with everyone with their umbrellas out, still walking on the streets. The cobblestone, it was lovely. I really enjoyed walking through these little alleyways, getting to see all of the shops. There were some really cool souvenir items. You can see that like embroidered dog pillowcase in the window. I ended up buying a couple of those for myself and gifts for friends. I always love walking around and seeing cute little boutique shops all around cities, and this central area was gorgeous. Look at how lovely those buildings are and the architecture. I'm not a big architecture person in terms of like knowing what things are and what types of architectural styles are called, but it was gorgeous. Obviously, if you're in Belgium, you have to have the moule frite, which is mussels and fries. It sounds like a very weird combination if you're not used to it, but I was convinced. There were like 5 different restaurants that served this dish. We went into one. I had some hot chocolate, a Biscoff, and then we had a huge pot of mussels. Each person got their own. I think I ended up getting the one with the garlic cream sauce. You guys will see here in a second, and it was so extremely delicious. It was a ton of mussels in this little pot. You guys can see me eating it. And it's very, I don't know how to describe it. If you're not into seafood, I still say give it a try because it's a very unique flavor. And my aunt taught me this little life hack that you use an empty shell to take other mussel meat out of other shells. So very unique tip. I had a really good time. Must try if you're in Belgium. And obviously clean the whole pot, as you must do. Again, I've never been much of an architecture person, but getting to see these buildings that are so amazing and grandiose and the architecture that's so intricate is really beautiful. I also loved getting to spend time with my family. You can see 2 of my aunties here with the raincoats. We also stopped by a candy shop, of course, and we got some of these, which I forget how to pronounce, but you can see the title there. We had one flavor, and then they taste quite sugary. I didn't get much of the fruit flavor. I think this was supposed to be pomegranate, but mostly it just tastes quite sugary. The texture is gummy and chewy, kind of like Dots gummy candies, if you guys have had those before. That's what I would compare it to in terms of texture. I liked it, but it's not the type of candy you can eat a whole bag of because it's so overwhelmingly sweet. After that, the rain started to let up just a little bit, so we decided to take a boat tour, which was very fun. The boat captain actually spoke multiple languages on the tour because we had some Dutch speakers, us as English speakers, and of course French speakers on the tour. So he gave the entire tour in 3 languages the entire time. He was very funny and animated, and I had a great time on this tour, especially, again, getting to see all the architecture and taking a little tour around Bruges. There are also a lot of stores that we stopped into that were selling Belgian lace. You guys can see here this store has a huge wall full of examples of what you can purchase and different patterns that were made. These are the same dog pillowcases I mentioned before. They had so many different patterns and designs, and I thought they were so cute and funny. I ended up purchasing a couple. They were so cute. My friends that I got them for really liked them. I think they were just a really good souvenir. We walked around some more and the sun finally came up, and look how gorgeous everything looks in the actual sunlight. Very different vibe from the rain, but I just had a wonderful time. I'm really happy I got to visit Bruges this time in Belgium. The second city I went to is, of course, Brussels. This is where most of my family lives and where I spent most of my time. We went to get a lot of great food here, so I didn't film everything because it's just repetitive eating, but we got to go to this really cute little eating area, and then I went to a Syrian restaurant and got this wrap with halloumi inside, and it was so delicious, you guys. I don't think this video does it justice, but it was so yummy. You can see that huge chunk of halloumi falling out, but I gobbled up every little bite. After that, we took a little tour of the historic sites in Brussels. I visited the city quite a few times since my childhood because, like I mentioned, a lot of my extended family does live here, but it's been a while since I've gone and done the touristy stuff, so it was fun to be able to go around and see everything once again and reacquaint myself as an adult with places that I've been as a child. The Little Pissing Man was always one of my favorite places to visit when I was a child because I love how the city will dress him up for the winter, and I thought the legends behind this statue were so much fun to read about, but definitely recommend reading those if you aren't familiar with the legends behind it. Obviously, also when you're in Belgium, you must get Belgian waffles. It's inexcusable not to go check that out, and look how gorgeous and delicious this display looks. Even after my disastrous creme fraiche incident from 2016, I still considered getting another waffle with creme fraiche. I ended up playing it safe though. I did not want to get food poisoning again, so I got a regular waffle, no toppings, and here's a little waffles cheers with me and my family. It was incredibly delicious, as expected. I've had a lot of various Belgian waffle dishes when I'm in the United States, and honestly, none of them have ever compared. Oh, that's my nephew right there. And none of them compare. These Belgian waffles are so amazing. After we got to have a little snack, we went to go sing some karaoke. We had a huge group. It was like my entire extended family, cousins, aunties, uncles, nieces, nephews. We were all in there. And I think our karaoke song list that we put together was like 16 hours. But here you can listen to my brother passionately butcher Bon Jovi. After karaoke, we went around and looked at some more touristy locations. The architecture is just absolutely beautiful in Belgium, you guys. So underrated, I feel like, and look at that gold detailing. There's also this bee that did not leave us alone the entire time and followed us around as we walked, and honestly, terrifying. This bee did not leave me alone. It was alright though, because we ended up stopping by to get some milk tea. I did eventually shake free from that bee, so I was all safe and sound. And of course, we went on to do some more touristy things. Of course, for my last meal in Belgium, we had to go to a Belgian restaurant. Based off of my family's recommendation, I got the beef tartare. Admittedly, not my favorite thing in terms of taste and texture, but I am glad that I ordered it and was able to try it at least once in my life. Very good experience, not something I would want to try again, but I'm glad I did it. The next morning, I ended up saying goodbye to all of my family as they dropped me off at the airport, and I walked through this really cute Belgian comics display where they had some famous Belgian comics hanging from the ceiling. It was a nice thing to see as I was leaving the country. I was feeling very bittersweet and sad to say goodbye to everyone, but I'm glad I got to see my family after so many years. I got on my flight and headed back home, and that was my trip to Belgium. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you again next time. Donne-moi ton cœur.